Welcome, beloved soul. May the peace of Christ embrace your heart at this very moment, and may the presence of the spiritual benefactors bring light and serenity to your journey. Today, we will walk together through deep reflections. Why was it precisely this person who entered your life? What lies hidden behind marriage that goes beyond love, choice, or passion? The destiny of marriage is never born by chance. It is written and invisible, woven by ancient promises, debts to be repaid, and lessons waiting to be fulfilled. Often, the heart clings not to what it desires, but to what it must experience in order to grow. I end this video. We will lift the veil that covers the spiritual mysteries of matrimony. We will understand how a union can be a blessing or reparation, a meeting of kindred souls, or a reunion of spirits still in need of adjustment. And what if I told you that the person by your side is not there by accident, but so that your soul could learn, grow, and set itself free? That is what we're going to reflect upon today, inspired by the immortal wisdom of Chico, Xavier, and eternal teachings echoed in the Spirit's book. Strengthen our bond. Leave in the comments the word that will guide our reflection today. Alliance. Have you ever thought that maybe your marriage was not only the result of affinities or a rational decision? At times, we feel that something greater guided us, as if an invisible force placed that person in our path. It is as though your eyes met and suddenly, destiny had already been sealed before you could understand. Often, the heart chooses without asking the mind's permission. And you may have wondered, why did I accept this relationship? Why with this person, and not with so many others who might have seemed easier or more suitable? The answer is simple yet profound, because there was something to be lived, learned, and transformed alongside them. Karma works like this. It does not obey human logic, but spiritual logic. It brings us close to those who must touch our soul, whether to heal old wounds, awaken dormant virtues, or teach us a new way to love. It is not merely a meeting of bodies, but a calling of souls. That is why matrimony so often feels unexplainable. You may feel drawn to someone who, in the world's eyes, made no sense in your life. Yet deep down, your heart already knew, it is with this person I must walk. And when you accept that calling, you step into an experience that can be both challenging and transformative. Marriage, in this light, is more than a paper signed or an altar dressed. It is a silent response to life's invitation, a call to grow, to learn, and fulfill what was written on the invisible pages of destiny. Have you ever felt like meeting someone for the first time, yet sensing you already knew them? The heart races, the eyes recognize, the soul awakens. It is as though behind a simple gesture or a long gaze, there lies a memory hidden from long before this life. Many marriages arise from this mysterious energy. It is not just chemistry or desire. It is reunion. Souls that once loved or hurt each other cross paths again because something still needs to be completed. Perhaps, in another life, you loved deeply but were torn apart. Perhaps you failed one another, and now life offers a new chance to repair, to restore, to transform. Matrimony, in these cases, is not chance. It is part of an eternal script. Two souls are drawn together by an invisible thread that stretches across time. That thread may be woven with love, longing, pain, or even resentment, but only dissolves when a lesson is fully learned. That is why some unions feel so intense, almost overwhelming. The weight of reunion brings emotions we cannot explain. Sometimes love is so strong it hurts. Other times, coexistence becomes a battlefield. Yet still, a greater purpose remains, the chance to write a new chapter in an ancient story. Seen to the light of past lives, marriage ceases to be just a formal union. It reveals itself as a portal to healing old wounds, transforming cycles of pain into liberation. To marry is to encounter again the soul your heart has awaited for centuries. Matrimony is also a school for the soul. Like any school, it brings tests, challenges, and discoveries. Karma manifests in marriage as that invisible teacher who insists on showing us what we need to learn. How many times have you faced the same situations repeating in your relationship? The same arguments, the same pain, the same patterns you swore you would not live again. Yet there they are. Nothing happens by accident. Every conflict has a purpose. To teach IT may be patience, empathy, the ability to set boundaries, or the courage to value yourself. Karma in marriage is that force pushing the soul toward evolution, using intimacy as mirror and teacher. And the lessons do not always come in harmony. Often, they are born in chaos, in misunderstandings, in broken expectations, or even in the temptation to give up. Yet it is within this fertile ground of challenges that the soul finds its chance to transform. When we look at matrimony through spiritual eyes, we see it as not punishment, but refinement. Just as fire purifies gold, marriage purifies the soul. Every tear, every smile, every silence is part of this classroom called life together. And in the end, you realize the greatest lesson was never to change the other, but to transform yourself. Marriage is standing before a mirror that reflects not only appearance, but the soul itself. The spouse awakens feelings that perhaps no one else could eye in intimacy. Unexpected reactions arise. A simple word sparks anger. A gesture of affection brings hidden tears. This happens because the other reveals exactly what we must face within ourselves. Marriage is a stage that projects both our virtues and our shadows. What we dislike in the other often mirrors something within us. Hard to accept, but essential to evolve. And it is not only about flaws. The mirror of marriage also reflects our strengths. When your partner believes in you, even in your darkest days, they hold up a mirror showing your light and greatness. Through this reflection, you discover potentials you might never have seen alone. That is why marriage is a profound process of self-discovery. Every look, every word, every conflict is an invitation to dive within and understand who you really are. Deep down, it is not the other who wounds us. It is we who, through them, recognize our own pains. And it is not the other who saves us. It is we who, through their reflection, find the strength to save ourselves. Few realize this, but marriage often fulfills a spiritual contract. In the invisible realm, encounters are already written. Pacts are made between souls who understand the need to walk together again. Sometimes for love, other times for reparation. Unlikely marriages happen because of commitments beyond human logic. Such contracts are not prisons, but opportunities for evolution. When we accept this vision, matrimony gains depth. It becomes not only a bond of earth, but an eternal commitment between souls. When fulfilled with love and awareness, old chains break, pain turns into wisdom, and the bond is lifted to higher planes. Marriage stops being merely a trial and becomes a portal of liberation. Many believe matrimony should be a fairy tale, but for many souls, it is first a test of endurance. Two people unite, each bringing different baggage, beliefs, traumas, fears, expectations. The meeting of these bags often creates friction, confrontation, pain. Yet it is there that the true power of marriage is revealed, the ability to transform limitations into growth. Illnesses, losses, jealousy, financial crises, all test the limits of soul and bond. Karma does not aim to destroy, but to polish. And it is in this struggle that compassion, resilience, and courage are born. To overcome does not mean to stay at any cost. It may mean forgiving, standing firm, or sometimes leaving when the lesson is complete. The triumph is not in the ending, but in the growth lived along the way. Every tear, every reconciliation carries deep meaning. Marriage ceases to be burden and becomes sacred trial, leading to the maturity of the spirit. Not every marriage exists just to fulfill affection. Many unions carry a mission. Two souls called to accomplish something greater. Some are meant to bring special children, others to create projects, inspire communities, or simply to testify resilience. Missions often reveal themselves quietly over time. They can be found in the daily persistence of a couple who does not give up, or in the silent testimony of love that inspires others. When we see marriage as mission, perspective shifts. The I gives way to the we. Love stops being only emotion and becomes service. And this gives meaning to sacrifices. When there is higher purpose, even pain fuels the journey. Marriage is not only coexistence, but spiritual partnership. It is a chance to leave an eternal mark in the world. IT is also a laboratory of healing. The love lived in marriage has the power to heal wounds from childhood or even other lives. How many enter marriage carrying rejection, abandonment, silent traumas, and then find refuge in the other's embrace? Love acts as balm. Healing is revealed not only in tender moments, but also in trials. Forgiving after betrayal, standing firm in sickness, these are love's highest forms. Conjugal love also teaches us to love ourselves. By receiving care, we learn we are worthy of love. By offering love, we discover our power to transform in the silence at home. The greatest miracles occur. A hardened heart softens. A weary soul finds strength. True love not only unites, it heals. Perhaps this is marriage's greatest purpose. Two imperfect souls becoming instruments of healing for one another. Not every marriage is meant to last a lifetime. Some exist only until karma is fulfilled. When the mission ends, peace arises even in farewell. The soul says, I have learned what I needed. I lived what I had to live. Now I can move on. Separation, then, is not failure but liberation. True love does not imprison. It teaches. Though painful, there is wisdom in endings. The cycle has been lived, and each is free to walk lighter, ready for new beginnings. Karma fulfilled is an act of release. It shows that love is not possession, but evolution. Sometimes the greatest proof of love is letting go, that if karma explains why souls meet, free will decide how they will live that encounter. Marriage may be written before birth, but how it is lived depends on daily choices. Free will is a sacred space where love becomes decision. It is not enough to be together by destiny. It is necessary to choose to love, forgive, persist, or sometimes to end a cycle, and every new beginning is an act of courage. For some, it is renewing vows within the same marriage. For others, it is opening to new paths, new lessons, in all cases, beginnings of liberation. They demand letting go of past pain, releasing guilt, and facing the future with trust. Thus, we see marriage not as a prison of fate, but as a stage of choices. It is in this dance between karma and freedom that the soul finds its true light. In the end, what matters is not only who you married, but who you became beside that person. Each marriage, each separation, each reunion fulfills a divine mission, polishing the soul and revealing the true meaning of love.